So we're so happy today on RV Dream to have a very special guest, Joel Holland. And he is the head of a wonderful new program out there. I guess it's been around for a while, but it's just really become, people really know about it right now, called Harvest Toast. Joel, thanks for joining us on RV Dream today.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, it's an honor to be here. You've been doing this a while, haven't you?
I have been doing this a while, I'm afraid. So let's start with what Harvest Toast is for people who may not know.
Yes. So Harvest Toasts is a unique RVing experience. We basically are a membership club that invite RVers to stay for free at 1,000 wineries, breweries, farms, museums, and golf courses all around North America. And so if you have a membership to our group, you can look these amazing places up online, visit them and stay overnight for free in return for supporting the hosts that you visit.
Tell me a little bit of your background, Joel. You and also what brought you to Harvest Toast? What motivated you to want to own this company?
Sure. So I grew up in Virginia, and I started a video technology company there, and I ran it for a number of years in the Washington, D.C. area. And I enjoyed building the company, but I got to a pretty large size, about 100 employees, a lot of responsibility. And after a number of years of running it, I kind of hit a wall where I was just tired of living in a big city, tired of the grind of having to go to an office every day. And so I turned to my wife and I said, we don't have to be here. We don't have kids yet. What if we hit the road and tried the RV lifestyle and just see if that road tripping thing, has something to it? And we really did it on a whim. We rented an RV, went up to Nova Scotia first, and RV'd around Cape Breton Island. And it was a really, really fun experience, even though we were in this piece of garbage rental RV that kept breaking on us and it smelled bad. And, in spite of that bad rental experience, we had such a nice time RVing that we came back to Virginia and we purchased a fifth wheel. And this is now about 4 or 5 years ago. We set out to just explore, and we had no real destination and no real time frame. We just wanted to see how long we could go before we got bored. And next thing you know, we'd RV'd through all the lower 48, had a wonderful time, and we weren't ready to stop. So that was how we came across Harvest Hosts, because we did get a little bored from time to time staying at traditional campgrounds. And traditional campgrounds are great and they serve a great purpose. Not all of them are the same. Some are really nice and some are more parking lot-esque. So we thought, hey man, we're driving by all these vineyards and these farms. Wouldn't that be nice to stay there and enjoy that scenery, enjoy those products? That's how we found out about Harvest Hosts and became members and started staying at Harvest Host locations. Fell in love with it and ended up buying the company from Don and Kim Green, the original founders who started it 9 years ago. And that was back in 2018. So it's been a really fun transition, and it's been really fun running the company since then.
So I see great visibility with Harvest Toast right now. You had some really great spots that come up on my YouTube channel now. Those animations, well done.
Nice.
Did you do those? Did you create?
Yeah,
those?
So is it the with the drone video flying over the farm?
Yeah, animations, but they're really really cool. Is it since the day you took over till now? Is it growing? Have you grown the number of locations you have out there?
We have, yes. So right now we are adding almost 2 locations every day. And so one of the first things I did was hire a team of customer service and host recruiters. And so we now have a dedicated head of host relations, Dawn, and she every day is reaching out to member suggestions and inviting these locations to join us. She's also reaching out to locations that look like they'd be a great part of the program. And so we're doing a very concentrated effort to bring on many, many more hosts, but that are nice, and complementary to the program.
RVers, you can go on the website and everything is really explained there, but it basically works. You pay $79 for the basic program, and then you stay free at these places. You don't really have to. There's no particular cost, but there's also no hookups at most of those places as well.
That's right. Yep, yep. You are absolutely right. It's more, it's the boondocking experience at its best, is how I would describe it. So when I think of bad boondocking, I think of parking in a Walmart parking lot because, yes, it's somewhere to stay, or a rest stop. Yes, it's somewhere to stay, but it's not scenic. They don't feel that safe all the time. It can be loud. There can be, people around you that you don't know. With Harvest Toast, you're boondocking, but you're on a farm, right? You're on a beautiful farm. You're safe. There's typically maybe one or two other RVers there with you. Great community. Everyone's there enjoying the same thing. So I like to say it's boondocking at its best, but you are correct. No hookups.
It's like organized boondocking is the way
Yes.
I was looking at it. It's like boondocking, but we know that we have a spot. So you go online as a member and you call the number of the place that you say, hey, that would be great. I want to stay there. Is that the way it works?
Absolutely. Yep. And there's a few different ways to find hosts. We have a great app for the iPhone. We have an app for Android, and we have a website. And so using any of those, you can search by location. So like I'm in Vail, Colorado. I can just, search nearby and it'll show me all the hosts in my area. I can also search by state. So if I say, all right, I'm in Colorado, let's see what's around Colorado. Or you can search by route. So I can say, okay, I'm going from Vail to Charlottesville, Virginia. Let's see what's along that route. And we'll pop all those little hosts right on the map. And then, like you said, you might see a farm that's in Kansas. You click on it, pull up that host page, look at some of the photos and the reviews that other members have posted, and then give them a call and say, hey, I'm Bob Hamilton. I would love to come stay with you tomorrow. Is that okay? And typically they say, come on in, Bob.
Right. And when you're there, one of the things you do is you encourage people, if you're staying at a business or whatever it may be, to go in and buy something from them. They don't charge you anything for staying there.
Exactly right. Yep. They charge nothing to stay there. We don't charge them anything to be in the program, and we also don't pay them to be in the program. And so it really is one of these, what I like to describe as a win-win-win situation. So our members win because they're staying at these wonderful locations. We ask them to take a percentage of the money that they're saving from staying at a traditional campground and give it back to the host by purchasing some nice wine or some fresh produce, some fresh asparagus. And that way that you're supporting that local business, which is much appreciated.
It's I'm sure you're aware of this, but I've long known about that kind of model down in New Zealand and Australia, and even a bit in Europe, at various places in Europe. Caravanning in those places. It's really not a new idea down there. They don't really have RV parks. They have farms. Are you aware of that?
Yes, you're absolutely right. And in fact, I believe Don and Kim, the original founders of Harvest Hosts, I believe they got the idea for the program after traveling in New Zealand and Europe.
Right. So I grew up in Oklahoma, and we had family farms in those days. All those family farms have now been sort of bought up by corporate farms. That is one of the drawbacks to the whole idea of staying in farming. But on the other hand, along the California coast now, we have a lot of young people who are doing their own organic farms of some kind. And I would assume that organic farm thing is growing around the country. Am
Yes.
I right? You're aware of that?
You're absolutely right. And what I love about it is that those are exactly the types of farmers who are excited to share their products and share their experience with new people. And so it's nice to be able to say, hey, check out this great group of RVers. They're going to love what you're creating.
And I've found they're very willing for you to go on out and help in the farm in the field if you want to while you're there.
Oh yeah, they'll put you to work if you want to go to work.
Right, exactly. So it's a wonderful idea. I have been RVing for some time myself, and we just finished 9 years of full-time RVing, and the years have gone on. And one of the things that motivated us to not do it anymore was RV parks. And there are some friendly, nice RV parks, but I'm thinking when I talk to RVers, and I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of RVers, and I say, well, what do you like about RVing? They said, well, I get out of the city and I get out in the country and I get away from all the hubbub and traffic and everything. And that seems to be the most important thing, the freedom that they get from RVing. But then they go to an RV park and the diesel trucks are running and the kids are upset with their parents, and you have more noise in the RV parks, and then there's not enough of them. We have record numbers of sales of RVs right over the last 3 or 4 years, and not record numbers of RV parks. So it's like, don't you think it's hitting a wall now where RV parks are not the place to go? And like you said, there's some good ones. We don't want to talk bad about them, but I don't want to stay in them anymore. They're not I'm in an apartment in Monterey, and it's much quieter than any RV park, and I'm downtown. You know?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. The amount of time you have to spend today researching where you're going to go and where you're going to stay, it's very important, because I know when I started RVing years ago, I would just, from the road, I'd pick an RV park on the way and just show up. I think that's a little risky now, because you're right. Like, some of them are downright awful. And then some are quite pleasant and quite beautiful. And so we do a lot of research, either through the Good Sam tool, with a rating system. You look for those 10-10-10 parks with the good bathrooms, the good facilities, and the good, ambiance, I guess. But you're absolutely right. With more RVers on the road today, it's more important than ever to be able to find a place that you want to go and relax. And I think that's what RVing is about. It's about freedom and relaxing. And if you get to a place at the end of the day and it's not relaxing, you've kind of ruined it.
I see those pictures you have on your website of the big Class A RV in the middle of the winery. And I think, there you go. That was the whole concept there.
That was the dream. That's right.
Not jammed up 4 feet away from another RV, who may be a renter who doesn't know you don't need to run your generator in the middle of the night.
Right.
as does happen on occasion. The other thing that's happening is the prices along the Pacific coast. $100 a night is not unheard of. Most of these places are near $100 a night. I stayed in Malibu for over $200 a night last year. Right, the Malibu RV park.
Yeah, I was like, I could go to a hotel for cheaper. Right. A nice hotel.
Right, and it makes no sense, does it? It's a strange thing that's happening. But we're the manufacturers in Indiana are just pouring these babies out there with no thought about where are we going to park these guys.
Yep.
Where are these guys going to be? Well, the bottom line is for this is what can we do to help? All of us listening out here, all the people listening out here, you expect this to grow big, obviously. Much bigger than it is right now. Am I right?
Yes, and I think as long as we can continue growing both sides, the host locations as well as membership, and keep them both in balance, then I would love to see this program much larger, because I genuinely think it benefits everyone involved. The members enjoy it, the hosts enjoy it, and of course I enjoy it, because it's a really fun business to run.
Is the pressure more on finding hosts than it is finding members?
Yes, absolutely. I think I focus more on host recruitment than membership recruitment, because I think if you have a world-class network of great places to stay, the members will follow. And conversely, if you have tons of members that know where to go, the system falls apart.
One of the things that's happening right now that I've discovered is the Walmart used to be the place you could pretty much, if you were on the road and you just have to park. But there's more and more pressure against the Walmarts of the world generally by local RV parks, not to let people park in those places. So you must be running into some of those laws that have been passed as far as boondocking is concerned. Am I right?
Occasionally, but I think this is why we're very careful to only allow one-night stays. We say this is not camping. It's not, there are no hookups. You really are just parking for the night in a nice location at a business that is already zoned for business. And so it's really not breaking any rules. And I think what's more important is we play very nicely with RV parks, because as we bring more people to an area, right? Like I'll use, Kansas as an example. We have a couple of wonderful hosts in Kansas. Well, now we have thousands of RVers who are seeing these places and going to these places that they wouldn't have gone before. and there are no hookups. That means once they leave the boondocking, they need to go to a campground where they can hook up, dump the tanks, get some air conditioning. So we actually end up bringing more business to local campgrounds around our Harvest Host locations. And so I think that the campgrounds are understanding that, and they're not pushing back because it's actually good for their business. Like when we put a Harvest Host near a campground, the campground does better.
Right, gotcha. So if people want to help you, they can go to the website, and you have a link there where they can send you a message. Any other thing that the RVer can do to help you grow?
Yeah, we love any help we can get recruiting new hosts. So if there's a location that you personally love, and you think it would be a great member, a great part of the Harvest Host program, let us know. And we actually have a little host recruitment program where we'll pay $100 to anybody who brings us a qualified host who signs up for the program. And we love that because it's valuable for us. We love to say thank you for your hard work of helping us get these hosts on board. And at the end of the day, the 1,000 hosts we work with, they enjoy the program. It brings them traffic, it brings them business. The first thing they all say is it brings them really wonderful people. And it really is, it's a people business. But in addition to smiles and handshakes, it's good for the local business. So if you're listening and you know of a local business that you think could have room for RVers to stay overnight, please let us know. We would love to bring them on board.
Golf courses, I don't know if you mentioned them a while ago, but I love the idea that you had golf. I have a joke about people who go, you went from a 32-footer to a 45-footer. Why did you do that? And they go, I needed room for my golf clubs. Golfing and RVing has a camaraderie as well. So golf courses are a good place for hosts.
They're a great place because when I think about your standard golf course, they're always beautiful settings, and they have lots of room, and they typically have very large parking lots. And so, yes, we have over 350 golf courses now in the program, and they've been popular. And I think for a good reason. Golf courses are like wineries. They're never going to be ugly, right?
Right, exactly. No, exactly. Beautiful and quiet and wonderful. Anything else that we should talk about that we haven't discussed here, Joel?
No, I think this has been great. We love the RV community. My wife and I are running this business because we really enjoy it. And yeah, I think that, this is just the beginning of some exciting things to come. But as we grow the program, we're always going to be focused on making sure hosts and members are happy at the same time because they're both, equally important to the program.
Right. A lot of those hosts are RVers themselves, too, I assume.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yep.
They understand that, and they're happy to see other RVers come.
Right.
And 99% of RVers I've met are really nice people, too.
I know. I'm with you. It's got to be one of the most pleasant communities of people in the world.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Great to meet you, and we're here to support you at RV Dream any way we can.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks very much, Joel Holland, for being on RV Dream New Radio.